Imagine a workplace where every employee feels valued, engaged, and inspired. Welcome to Incredible Workplaces, where exceptional work cultures are recognized and celebrated. Incredible Workplaces is dedicated to evaluating and certifying organizations that prioritize employee well-being, engagement, and inclusivity. Our assessments are grounded in the PULSE framework, promoting values and beliefs, unified communication, leadership development, supportive environment, and environment for innovation and adaptability. We offer 2 certification levels: Gold, focusing on self-evaluation, and Platinum, which includes comprehensive employee feedback for a holistic view of your workplace culture. Achieving certification enhances your employer brand, attracts top talent, and fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Beyond certification, we provide access to exclusive events, best practices, and a community committed to workplace excellence. Our certification programs are competitively priced to provide value for organizations of all sizes. Join the ranks of organizations committed to excellence. Visit incredibleworkplaces.com to start your certification journey today.
Super excited that we are Incredible Workplaces certified.
We are feeling pride to be certified as Incredible Workplace Organization.
We are very happy to be certified from Incredible Workplace.
Feeling proud to be recognized as Incredible Workplace Certified Organization.
Let's create workplaces incredible with Incredible Workplaces. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our audience from all over the world. And I am back with another episode, to be specific, episode 8 of our Culture Connect, where we bring global leaders all over the world. And today we have a similar leader with us, Jimmy, who is the CEO of Vector K Software from Costa Rica. And Jimmy is into software development, and he also has more than 100 employees at this point in time. And we are going to have an interesting conversation about building high-performance work environment, but at the same time, making sure that our culture is staying with us. So welcome, Jimmy, to our show.
Hi, Govin. Hi, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about this, because the culture, it's the strategy every day. So we believe that, and we are really focused on the culture of an organization.
Awesome. Jimmy, I'm super excited about this conversation because I have been in touch with you in last couple of weeks and learning more and more about you. And every time I learn more about you, I get more fascinated. So it's a great opportunity, not only for me, but our audience across the world to listen to your journey, listen to everything that you have done. So before we start this conversation, I know that the audience will definitely go to the LinkedIn and find your profile. But what is that you have to tell to our audience, which might not be in your profile, about your journey since starting till now?
Okay, that's interesting. Uh, Actually, 10 years ago, I left my government job in Costa Rica to make my MBA, and I live a self self security job about that, to dream and follow a new opportunity for myself and my family. So I made an MBA, and I started in technology, I don't know, 80, yeah, 8 years ago, 8 years ago. And I worked with payment companies, technology payment platforms, and software development. And I started Factor K 3 years ago with the commitment to create a different kind of company. That's very funny. I live in Costa Rica, specifically in a city. Its name is Grecia. So when I said that, people think that I live in Mykonos or Santorini, but I live in Grecia, Costa Rica. Actually, behind me is the the post volcano. I don't know, maybe 5 kilometers here. This
Awesome.
is a funny fact.
Awesome. And would you like to share a little bit about how do you started Factor K software?
I start. That is a great question. I start Factor K 3 years ago, and that's very funny because when I left my last company in my last day, I never received. I couldn't receive a call to say thanks, Jimmy, for all. So I learned a lot about that because I was a number there.
Hmm.
That's true.
Hmm.
Sometimes for different kind of people that happen, but for myself, that's not a good thing. So what my commitment to create Factor K was we never be a number here. So with that, we align different kind of process to be the best company for every person to come here.
Very nice. So this is really, really awesome. I can't wait to just start having my conversation with the question that I want to ask you. But at the same time, I would like to tell the audience that if they have any questions that they want to ask from Jimmy, feel free to send us on the LinkedIn chat box and comments. And I will try to take as much as questions I can with the limited time that I have with Jimmy and try to take those questions from him. Jimmy, before I move to that, uh, our our vice president of people and culture, Vibha, has sent something which I couldn't understand much. Maybe maybe you can translate this for us. I don't know what this means.
Awesome.
Oh,
Uh, so thanks, Viva. I really appreciate that and your comment. I want to share some ideas and some stories about Factor K and myself to uh, to make a great life for our audience.
awesome. Thank you. So let's start with the conversation that I want to have with you. So I am a great advocate of culture, and that's precisely the reason why Incredible Workplace was built, because we wanted to build exceptional work culture, recognize organizations that have exceptional work culture. And you just said the same, right? You built this because you don't want it yourself to be just a number, but at the same time you don't want your team members in Factor K to be considered as a number, but somebody who's really adding a value. And I think I can tell you, Jimmy, this is very, very tough. Sounds very easy, sounds very great, but it's very tough because when you start building an organization, financials and revenue becomes one very key part. Can I ask you, how do you think of culture and align it in a way that it connects with the strategy and the business objective your organization is trying to achieve, so that it is a performance driven organization as well? What's your thought on that?
This is a great question. Let me share something before. Or in an industry, the talent turnover is probably 20%, 25%, 30%, and our talent turnover is less than that 5%. For example, in last December, our talent turnover per year was 3%. So that represents that our culture and our ideas work.
Awesome.
So about about how we create the culture and how we create and how we align these things, the culture with our objective. Let me share you a quick story. I don't
Awesome.
know, maybe 18 years ago in my birthday, I lost a job and I lost a girlfriend. So I couldn't find money to enjoy time with my friends. I couldn't find a new girlfriend, and I spent, I don't know, 2 months to find a new job. So at that moment, I find a book at my house, and its name is The Real Leadership. And I read about how Michael Dell find the idea to build computers with different kind of colors: blue, green, pink, all these things. So in the book, the guy who wrote it asked to Michael Dell, "How you find that a great idea?" And his answer was, "Talk to people and understand what they want."
Very
So
true.
when I decided create Factor K 3 years and a half ago, maybe, and I spent 6 months to create the concept of company because our talent, Gavin, has a over offer. Around the world, our engineers have over offer. So we want to create a different concept for our people and our clients. So 3 years and a half ago, I read the book again, and I read the same part about Michael Dell's story, and I start there. Talk to people to understand
Mm.
what they want. So I had more than 100 calls with QA engineers, project managers, Scrum masters, engineers, mobile engineers to understand what they want. And according to that, we define there are four pillars. And our four pillars are talent oriented culture, a talent oriented culture, um, client experience company, because B2B business doesn't have a good customer experience. The other one is technology, and the last one is efficiency. So, according to that, if we understand what people want, we can create a great organization to align their expectations with our objectives. So, according to your question, what is the way that we manage that? That is very interesting. We have two kind of interviews. We have a culture interview. So if you are an incredible girl or guy tech, but if you can't pass the culture interview, you can continue with the next stage of the process. So when we understand what people want, we can create according to our possibility, create a great experience for every person at the company. And if in what is the great match here, if you care the people, people care your clients. And if the people care your clients, you grow and you can hire more people and you can hire more leadership team according with their strategy.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And first of all, thanks for sharing your story, because I want to take a pause and just reflect on some of the key learnings that I think is important for our audience to know. And one of them is the time when uh, you have to lose your job and also your girlfriend on your birthday, three things together, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly my birthday.
and I'm sure that it is something that we are actually having fun about today. But I'm sure it's a shocker when it comes at that point in time. And the point is that there will be occasions like that when you feel that everything is lost and nothing is there, and then you have to build from there, right? In India, we say whatever
Yeah.
happens for good. So I think
Exactly.
maybe there's a good foundation for you to start your own organization, and not just an organization, but an organization that believes in the culture and values. That's first
Yes.
piece. The second one I would say is that I always advocate reading books, and I think in your example that you gave, and I think CEOs normally read lot of the books, because these are the ways by which you kind of learn from the experiences of other and what they have gone through and what they wanted to convey and communicate. And we should be learning those. And I'm glad that that one book kind of change the perspective and the way you look at it. And you narrated those four things that values to any individual, and I do agree with them. Although in software industry, in the industry you are, it is considered that people are behind money. They do, but they are not necessarily all the time looks money as the criteria to leave or join a particular organization. There are so many other factors, and you have narrated them all of them.
This is a great point. What I understood after more than 100 calls with talent is, of course, people need to pay college, house loan, all these things. But what I learned, it was people want to be part of something great.
Mm. Correct.
And if the project is good and the leadership style is good, you are in the right side. For example, sometimes company has a great project, but the leadership style or leadership thing is not the best. So people stay there for short term. Or if the people look like the leadership style, but the project is not good, people stay there for a short term. But if you have the great combination, you have a great combination, probably the people stay more time here. For example, when I start the company, I made a recruiting process.
Okay.
And when I invite someone to come here, I said, "Hey, Gavin," or "Hey, I don't know, John Smith." When I invite someone to join to Factor K, we only have two answers: yes or not now. So when the people hear that, and I said, "Come here," and people can say yes or not now, but I spend, I don't know, an hour to show our project, to show our roadmap. So, and at the end of that call, I said, "You can stay in your current company and you will be great, but you can come here to Factor K and enjoy the trip. Probably we will have problems, probably we have scars in the future, but 10 years later, you can see your past and you can think, hey, I was part of that." So this is our commitment. When the people come here, it's not about the position, it's about their life project.
Yeah, and I love the concept also that you mentioned earlier about culture interview. I don't know how many companies really do that nowadays, and not that how many companies do that, but how many companies take it seriously. Because sometimes they just see that culture interview is simply a step to cross, as opposed to the key element of your selection process. And I agree. Sorry, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, no, this is very funny because when I started the company, at the end of my interview, I used a great question, and the question was, "What make you happy?" And people never receive that kind of question in an interview. So that's very funny because we understood different kind of answers. And for example, when some people said, I make me happy travel, I make me happy work, I make me happy learn, I make me happy different kind of things, and we couldn't, no, and we could understand according with their answer what kind of commitment we can find. For example, when people said, I make me happy family time, or I make me happy be stay good with my family, or I make me happy, for example, care my family. That kind of commitment, they when the people answer that, the commitment is so high. Of course, that's not a magic recipe. We have a great people here, but we can understood that when the people say that, we can see a great commitment with our organization. And all these
Wow.
things is in a culture interview.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, because that's why I was saying that I've seen a lot of culture interviews, but not the ones that really mean, and they're really asking question from the intention that they want to know this person more. And glad that you did some of your, at least your own study, if not any other study, your own study that works in factor K, that if people who are close to their family are the one who are going to be more committed to the organization. So, Jimmy, we spoke about when people are entering in factor K, right? How about like culture, right? Culture comes from core values that you have in your organization. And many times I've said that cultures sometimes, the core values sometimes become something to hang on the posters and put it on the wall and forget about it, wherein it is not that. It is something that you have to live every single day in every single thing that you do. Give me examples of your organization, as you said that you don't want people to be seen as numbers, but as something that they're valuing, and they're valued in the organization. How do you make it part of your day to day?
That's a very great question. We have different kind of things here. For example, uh, when we understood what people want, we can create a different experience for every person in the company. Of course, that is not a magic recipe, because we have we need to complete with budget, we need to complete with goals, but we understand what is the dreams of government, for example. And for example, we have the information, or we have the knowledge about why we have a great girl, could be a tech lead, but she said it's not the right moment because my daughter is too young. So if you understand, if
Mhm.
to what is the dreams of people and their goals in the future, we can manage that in a very good way and align the leadership style and align the expectations and the roadmap with organization. So, according to your question, for me, and my first point was understood what people want is the most important asset to align people with the strategy. This is the first one. Know your people and know your people goals. The other one is about define the rules, but the but your leadership style will be with example. I worked so hard, and some people said you are a very kind guy, but the different kind of things you are more strict, more hard about different kind of things.
Yeah.
So if I manage the company and my people manage the company with example, this is the most important asset. I can say, hey, do this, and I can do that. So the example leadership style is the most important asset. And the last one is a community. For example, when we found Factor K, we understood that we need a community, an identity. For example, Google has the Googlers, and other one has, I don't know, Glovant has the Glovers. So we understood that we need identity, and we were thinking about different kind of names for our people. And after read, and listen, I don't know, more than 20 podcasts about that, we adopt the Sherpas philosophy. You know Sherpas, right? Sherpas are the people to live close to the Everest mountain. And what we adopt the Sherpa's philosophy, because the Sherpas has the conditions mentally, physical condition to get to the top alone. But
Mhm.
their philosophy is get to the top together, help others to get to the top together. So if you can see our, I don't know, our teams channels, all people are asking, "Hey, anyone know this? Anyone know this? Hey, I can help you because I used that, I don't know, 2 years ago." So our Sherpa philosophy is a real example about how when the client signed a contract with Factor K, I always said you are not hiring a team, you are hiring a community to
Mm,
support your client projects.
mm,
So if you ask me to make a resume about your question, how we manage that, of course we have process, we have knowledge, we have uh, forms and all these things to support that strategy. But according to my comments, the first part is know your people want. The second one, leader with the leadership style with example. And the last one, create a culture and create a community with a great identity.
wow, that's super awesome. Know your people, lead by example, and build community. In some, like when you were saying, I thought that you meant building community, which works more for social work. But I think you are talking more about a community that helps within the team each other and try to achieve together. So that's really great. We are getting some questions, Jimmy, that I really want you to have a look and answer those. And if you have some such occasions, so you said 3 years, right? Factor K has completed 3 years,
Yeah. Last
and
February we celebrate our third anniversary.
awesome, great. So which region you have your clients from?
And Latin America and US.
Okay, great. So let me just put something on the screen. So this question is from Neha, and she's asking, and I want you to think about it. If there is any time when your team has felt disconnected or low, I don't know, a client project or something, how should a leader begin to rebuild the culture? Because when failure comes, when things doesn't go as you wanted, and so the question comes on team and their credibility, how a leader should rebuild that trust.
I think that we rebuild the trust or increase trust with example. For example, I don't know, I think that 2 years ago, okay, I went to share, I have a story about this.
Sure.
When I read that book 15 years ago, or 18 years ago, I can't remember, the leadership, and when I learned about Michael Dell, I have other sharper there, and that sharper talked about John MacArthur. Who was John MacArthur? John MacArthur was the guy who transformed the Harvard Business School,
Mm-hmm.
and he was part of part of our uh, every part of his people situation, disease, borns, and different kind of things. For
Mm-hmm.
example, this is just an example of Factor K. 2 months ago or 3 months ago, a Saturday, 11 p.m., I received a message for one of our Sherpas, and the message was, "Hey Jimmy, my grandpa died."
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to my wife and I said, "Hey, I said goodbye. I will visit that Sherpa." And I
Mm-hmm.
drive, I don't know, 3 hours Saturday night to stay with him in that difficult moment. So, how we build the trust, how we rebuild the trust in the culture with example. Stay there when the people need you. Stay there when the client said, "Hey, this is a Govin responsibility. Stay there when they have a complicated family situation. Stay there when the project is hard. Stay there when they need you. If you ask me, as a leaderships, as a leaders, in a different kind of leadership style, of course we will have problems. We will make a lot of mistakes about, because we are not the perfect. In my role, I'm a CEO of science. 3 years ago and before that I was a salesman, and of course I will make mistakes. But the most important thing, from my opinion, to rebuild the trust and stay connect and rebuild the culture and rebuild the trust is stay there when the people need you. And the other story about that I learned 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I was in a conference, and one of our speakers was a Central American CEO of a financial company, and I saw his LinkedIn profile, and I feel that he was a great leader, and I know him in that conference, and I asked him how you manage that, how you are very connected with your people. And my question, and I added to my question, you use um, emails to be connected or videos to be connected. And his answer was amazing. He said, me, Jimmy, you can use videos, you can use Teams, you can use, I don't know, WhatsApp, you can use emails or whatever you want. But the most important thing is to be a walk around CEO. So when your people stay in your office, stay there with them, talk to him, be available to talk. So after learn that, I talk with our leadership team. We never have a meeting. We have an office day. And the last Friday of every month, all the company visit our office. And we have team days too. So I talk with our leadership team. We never have a meeting in the team day or an office day, to stay there, to be walk around leadership style. Stay there, talk with the people, lunch with the people. If the people need you, stay there. So to finish my answer, okay, stay there when the people want you, stay there when the people need you, stay there in the good moments, in the bad moments. But in the specific days, be a walk around leader, not an office leader in your office. Walk around with the people.
Wow. Amazing, amazing story, Jimmy. But I have one follow-up question for you. And so when an organization is of a size that is manageable for a CEO to connect with the people, but there will be time, Jimmy, like for example, Factor K will become 1,000 people company, right? Very soon.
Yeah.
So when it
Yeah, very
happens,
soon. I hope that.
so when that
I hope that
happens,
too. How we solve that? How we kill the culture when we'll be 1,000 people?
yeah.
Yeah. Some some people said, when you are part of a big company, you will be a
Mhm.
number. And people
Correct.
said that like a rule. And I really believe that is not the true. If you have the right people and the right structure. For example, now we are working. This is a press release. We are working to build a culture management system. We are working on
Wow.
that. So because, for example, this we can talk about that in other LinkedIn Live, but this is our one of our asset to manage the culture in the future if we grow that we expect. This is one of our things. But the most important thing is about hire the right people and and hire the people with the right skills. For example, now we have two interesting roles in the company. The first one is about delivery. So we have a client success manager, and that person support our client projects about delivery. And we have a client experience manager, and the client experience manager manage or care our people in the projects and care the client relationship, because we want to love our people and we want to love our clients. So, and that's very interesting. That is not a common in our region, but we have a culture manager.
Well,
So,
that's really awesome. Go ahead, go ahead.
so if when you ask me what is their strategy to grow and keep our culture and broke the hypothesis that people have about if you are part of a big company, you will be a number. I really believe that you have the structure to support your strategy and you have the right people with the right role in the right process. You never be a number. Of course, for example, if we will have, I don't know, 1,000 people and the Sherpa number 200, it's difficult that the Sherpa 200 know the Sherpa 900. That's very difficult. But the
Correct.
people over there, around there, they will know her name and his name. This is because we can, if we have the structure, the system, the people, we can create small teams to work together. And maybe some people know the other people of the company and the Christmas dinner, but if the people around there know, that people never be a number, that person never be a number if they are part of the right team. And the other thing that we changed this year, we are changing organization, because in our structure usually the company have CEO, leadership team, or C level and projects. So now we have um, a cycle organization, and start with myself to the right of to the left to the rest of the company. We are not a vertical organization. We are more service oriented organization, less vertical, more short, to say, hey guys, you are the right and the, I don't know, in the US project or Latin America project, and from the CEO to their his leadership team, all will be on service to be successful together. So I don't like the vertical organization. We love service oriented organization to our people and our client.
Wow. And I'm so glad because this is a pain area for many growing organization and the organization that are big, that when they grow, it's very hard for them to continue with the culture. There's a Indian company called Tata's, and they have nailed it and they have done a great job. When we talk about culture in the organization, their name comes. But I don't think that other than them, there are very great examples of bigger organizations where people were able to maintain the culture, right? Because in this, when you are small, is easy. When you start growing, is difficult. And I'm so glad that you have started thinking about it and you have already a kind of a plan for it that to come.
I have other things that we use. All our leadership ears are really open to hear whatever people want to suggest. For example, we have a situation the last year, and we have a very strong teams.
Mhm.
So that's very funny because we have different kind of days to visit our office, and they usually is on the team days and office day. And the team days is about is about areas or clients, and the team day is last Friday of every month. But our people create a WhatsApp group, and its name is it's office whatever office with anything. Just hey guys, I will be there. I will be there, and the other guy said I will be there too, just to spend time together.
Mhm.
What happened with that? So we have a very strong teams. But what happened with the new people to join to the company? We understood that hey, this is a very strong team. Maybe the new people in the company was thinking, hey, this is this team. All teams are really strong together. So maybe it was a little bit difficult for the new people join to the new team because the current teams are very strong with very strong relations. So one of our Sherpas said me, "Hey Jimmy, we have a interesting situation. Maybe for the new Sherpas will be a little difficult join to the teams because we have a very strong relation each other. So we create a buddy program. In the first month, I don't know, this girl have last Friday 15 minutes with the new Sherpa. Hey, how was your week? How was this? How was your client relationship? How was your onboarding? So people never be alone. Of course, we have the client experience manager, we have the project manager, we have other structured support, but you have a peer to help you to join to the team, to join to, hey, what is this is very important. Visit the office Wednesday is very good too. So this is a very good asset. And the other thing that we want is onboarding process, and the person who made the onboarding process is our culture manager. So in the onboarding process, so she is playing our values and our commitment we expect. And when I said, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, we don't offer open positions, we offer a live project. If you hear that, Gov, and then you're onboarding, people can think, hey, I want to be here 10 years, 5
Mm,
years, 15
mm.
years. I want to be, we have questions, and we have answer when the people say, I want to be for life too.
That's really incredible. And thank you for sharing these examples because I think it helps the audience to understand it's just not very high level, but here are some examples how you can do it. And I can tell you, Jimmy, you said that as you're working on building your own initiative on, managing culture when we become bigger is definitely a topic that I would like to have a conversations about. As we are coming very close, we have just few minutes left. I'm just thinking that I just started the conversation and it's already 45 minutes gone in the conversation. But I would love to have you back. I have never said it to anybody till now, and you are the first person I'm saying on for this particular live session that I would like you to come back, and I would like you to talk about building culture or sustaining culture when you are scaling as an organization. And I really love to have
Awesome.
you know conversation about the model that you have already started thinking of. Um, and maybe our audience might need to wait for a quarter because we have already guests lined up till quarter, and I'm sure by then the model will be more mature too. So, Jimmy, you're coming back with the promise that you'll be back in a quarter with our audience talking about scaling culture.
Absolutely, yes. I will love that.
All right. I have a couple of questions, Jimmy, that people have shared on the chat, but I don't think we can take them now at this point in time. But if you have time, these questions, these all the questions that you see are available on our events comment. And if you have time, please go to the link of our event and please do answer those questions to these people one-on-one, like one-on-one meaning reply them on the comment. That will be really awesome.
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome. Thank you. So this is what the conversation about with Jimmy. And as I said, I just thought that we started. But we have already into 45 minutes in the conversation. And I think that's the when you listen to stories, when you listen to examples. I learned a lot, Jimmy, from these conversations, from
Thank
some of
you.
the
Me too.
some of the ways that are really fantastic. And I love that how to keep connected with people is really big one. I myself struggle with many of them because when you are on the mission of growing your organization, everything as a CEO needs your time, right? Maybe the thing is where you want to prioritize your time is the key that you need to answer. So I think you have cleared some of the doubts in my head. So thank you very much for that. And also, thank
No,
you very
thank
much for.
you. No, thank you for your time and your people. I really appreciate that. If whatever you need, I will be there.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Jimmy for you, the CEO of Vector K Software Company in Costa Rica. And he's on the path of growth. I love the story. I love the way he thinks. I'm sure that many of you who are on the path of building culture for your organization, whether small or big, I'm sure those stories, those experiences will help you. One thing I also said in my conversation, but I would like to say it again: there are tough times that you have to face in your life. Jimmy did, right? But you don't have to lose your hope. I think what you need to do is you have to find right kind of people, find books, find right kind of people who can motivate you at that point in time. Jimmy took that tough time. I will not say as an opportunity, but as an occasion where he has gone to books, and today he has built an organization that has 100 people. Those are not numbers, but those who are adding value to the organization. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think you can also do the same. Learn from Jimmy, and I learned a lot. So I hope he will come back after 3 months with us, talking about his whole new magic stick that he built for scaling culture, and we talk about that. Till then, once again, thank you, Jimmy, for being on the
Thank
show and
you.
sharing it.
Thank you for your time.
All right, so
Take
ladies and
care.
gentlemen, have a nice day, and we'll see you in the next episode with one other global leader, which is our episode 9, and in next Thursday. So see you. Until then, have a nice day. Bye bye.